Okay, in nuclear chemistry, we learned about the composition of the nucleus, followed by, the different type of nucleons present in the nucleus. Then we moved to the properties of the different particles present within the nucleus, and that ultimately led us to the nuclear forces, which ultimately helps these nucleons to keep within the nucleus. And today actually, after knowing a little bit about the binding energy, we did some sums also there. After knowing the nuclear binding energy and what is mass defect, let us try to solve a few problems. Actually, these problems are very basic problems, and we will do them one by one, and this idea will ultimately help us to know about the different units we use in bioinorganic chemistry. So while determining the mass defect as well as binding energy, I told you that binding energy is the energy that helps the nucleons to bind together within the nucleus, and whenever a definite number of nucleons combine together to form a particular nucleus, then it has been found that the total mass of the protons or neutrons present within the nucleus, if we sum up them, then ultimately the mass which we get is somewhat lesser than the actual total mass of the proton and neutron. That means some amount of mass is lost when the proton and neutrons combine together to give rise to the nucleus of a particular element. And if that energy is lost, we know from the first law of thermodynamics that energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. So immediately this means that some amount of mass energy is converted to some other kind of energy, and that other kind of energy is nothing but the binding energy, which helps the nucleons to bind together within a nucleus. So these are the sums we already calculated. Now we said that the binding energy is directly related to the mass defect. That means the lost mass multiplied by the square of the velocity of light, and that will ultimately give you the binding energy. So today, binding energy, again, this small picture can also show us that whenever the nucleus is given the definite amount of binding energy, that means the binding energy when the nucleons are separated, and once they are combined to give you the final nucleus, then they will be attracted to one another by some amount of force, and that force is the binding energy, or the combining total energy of the nucleons within a nucleus. The rate in change in binding energy, you will find that at 60 with 56 iron, you have the most stable nucleus, and after that the stability declines. The binding energy goes on increasing from hydrogen up to 56 iron. 56 is its nuclear mass number. Actually, it is not the atomic number. Atomic number is 26 only. So 56 is the mass number, you see, and up to that particular mass number, the nucleus is stable. So below 56 iron, all will be the stable nuclei, but above 56 iron, you will be having the nuclei which are heavier, as well as at the same time they loses their stability gradually. And you have the uranium here with the highest instability, and we know that uranium is radioactive. Now, actually, this is a small sum I want you all to do. Kindly note down this particular question, and then please go for answering it. Okay, this particular question gives us carbon in 12 state. That 12 means that this is that isomer of carbon which has 6 proton and 6 electron. And if that is 6 proton and 6 electron system, then immediately 12 gram will be its atomic weight. Now, from the definition of mole, we know that 1 mole of substance is equal to the atomic mass or equal to the molecular mass. So here, the number of mole that will be present will be exactly 1 mole. Please go to the next question then. This is another interesting question. You see, the unified atomic mass, the unified atomic mass unit, which is actually we call the atomic mass unit. The unified atomic mass unit is defined to be the 1/12 of the mass of an atom of carbon-12. What is the mass of one unit in terms of kg? Atomic unit is defined as 1/12 the mass of the atom of carbon-12. Then what will be one atomic unit in kg? So the answer will be the atomic mass is the mass of 1 mole of carbon atom, and 1 mole of carbon atom exactly contains the Avogadro's number. So if the mass of one carbon is mc, we have to multiply the Avogadro number with mc to get the mass of the whole the atoms present in 12 gram of carbon. Now 12 gram of carbon will exactly have the values equal to the product Avogadro number and mc, and that will ultimately change in the unit from gram to kilogram, will give us the mass of one carbon atom, that is mc. And by atomic mass unit, we know that atomic mass unit is none other than the 1/12 of the mass of one carbon atom. So 1/12 of mass of one carbon atom, that mass of one carbon atom is taken in kg, and simple calculation will give us the value 1.6605 to 10 to the power minus. The next question is about what is the mass of a proton in terms of atomic mass unit. All are given in kilogram. You see, all the masses are given in kilogram, and you are asked to find one mass unit. A little earlier, we found that one atomic mass unit, I mean the previous problem, the previous problem, this particular problem gave us that one atomic mass unit is this amount of mass in kilograms. So from that particular question, you just convert it to this particular units into unit, I mean atomic mass unit. So what is it? What will be the answer? B. Okay. Was it B? Yes. So one atomic mass unit, it is the answer of the previous question. One atomic mass unit is equal to 1.6605 into 10 to the power minus 27 kg. So this gives us this amount of kg is equal to 1 by that particular amount, and ultimately you just convert that from kg to atomic mass unit. So what is atomic mass unit? Ultimately we know that it is defined to be 1/12 the mass of an atom of carbon-12. The mass of carbon-12 is primarily made up of the mass of 6 proton and 6 neutron. This is the most stable isotope. Everywhere, whatever you get, any compound made up of a carbon that is made up of actually carbon-12. Other the radioactive ones, you have heard about the radiocarbon dating. We will in our next chapter we will go to radioactivity. There also we will be dealing with the isotopes of carbon which are other than 12. But if we go for the atomic mass unit, we take the most stable one, and the most stable one ultimately gives rise to masses of proton, neutron and electron in atomic mass unit as this. So kindly write it down. And if that is the unit you are having, then kindly do this particular sum. Approximately how many times heavier in terms of mass is a proton compared to an electron? Approximately how many times heavier in terms of mass is a proton compared to an electron? What is the ratio between these two? It will be found that 2000 times, and that I spoke you earlier also. Compared to electron, proton is 2000 times more heavier. So these electrons are actually neglected while calculating the total mass of the system, and it is the nucleus ultimately which determines the whole mass of the nucleus.